Friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. We hope that you're all doing well tonight. Before we get started, a few announcements. Number one, shows tomorrow night: Starfield, Space Pirate, Super Spy, Xeno Hunter, Elisandra goes up against the Xenomorphs. Can Elisandra defeat
Mothers of Dragons, the Unburnt.
Can
Breaker of
Elisandra
Chains.
defeat the Xenomorph army? Join us and find out. Then, Wednesday, Wild Ambition. Oh boy, there's bugs in the swamp.
Yeehaw.
There's bugs in the swamp, and they're ready to eat the world.
It's a
We
bug
played
hunt.
through the first book of Strength of Thousands and said, you know what? That wasn't enough bugs. We need more bugs.
Then, on Thursday, we're off as Matt and I are going to a show together.
What's the show, Will?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know the name of it. I just know I'm going with Matt. I know what the show. I know who's putting on the show, but I don't know the actual title.
You're going to
of
the
show.
Critical Role show. Just say that.
Yeah, I'm going to that one, but I don't know the actual title because there's apparently a title for it.
That actually is true, because it is a special.
They got a one-shot special things.
Yeah.
Echoes of the Solstice.
Yeah, we're going to go watch that in the movie theater together. We're going to share popcorn. It's going to be great.
Hooray.
I never agreed to that.
Then on a Friday, Astral Calling. We're continuing our very fun. Well, I think it's very fun. Our very fun little mini arc right now. Our party has found themselves inside the Crucible program, and now they find themselves in a world that, for all of you gaming nerds out there, works very similar to a visual novel.
Kiss, kiss, fall.
I was thinking it. Though, I just want to acknowledge really quick the funny comment in chat. Yeah, well, it would turn out if I just got you to go to Five Nights at Freddy's.
I might actually kill you.
I mean, it would be in keeping with the evening as long as you stuffed my body inside an animatronic suit then, which I could then haunt.
Do they have Chuck E. Cheese's up there?
We used to.
We used to.
We used
Listen,
to.
FNAF.
I mean, we have Bucky Beaver now, but there's like one location.
Oh, you mean Boosies?
No.
No.
You haven't seen that TikTok? I'll tell
No.
you later.
I
Nope.
can't say that I have.
Then on Saturday, we have a new show starting. Well, we're continuing our show, but we're starting a new game on it. Salt and Strategy. Will, Chad, Calf, and Matt. We're beginning our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough together.
And chat, let me know if I should continue to just do the same thing as I always do and make Garl Barbarian, or should I try something new and be a Garl Paladin?
Make Garl Barbarian if you want, Matt. I'm playing another bard, so...
I saw the basic outfit. I'm like, oh, Garl, your gun show. Oh my. Like, oh. Yeah.
It do be
Like, it would be a crime to hide that under some armor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you can toggle the armor off. It's so nice. That means that I can use the ugly armor and not look ugly.
Exactly. I'm so happy we can have the camp gear be our main gear because some of those outfits are
Just have
Fire.
a Starion fight in his frilly pirate shirt.
I'm just gonna put this out here, and shocker to no one, I like my paladin's armor. But when I'm in camp, I wear nothing except the most bold blue tidy whities I have ever seen.
They are bold. They
I
are
do
bold.
the Twitch. I do the Twitch ones that you could only get from the Twitch drop that are just purple. Because
all the purple ones.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Are they sparkly purple? Because that sounds like a Scanlan original.
I steal Lae'zel's
yeah.
armor most of the time. I
That's
steal
fair.
her Lae'zel's armor.
She does have great taste in armor, very bright and shiny.
She does.
The Gith
Anyway.
Yankee have nice craftsmanship.
Then
Use
Sunday.
hirelings and steal their underwear. Baldur's Gate 3. That's a thing that I have seen people do.
Well, speaking of things we've seen people do, Sundays, Cozy Co-op, Will, Sarah, Emily playing Cozy Co-op games together.
Sunhaven.
Yeah, we're
Will
doing Sun.
Will I finally marry June? Let's find out.
Sounds like the start of a
They-
soap opera. I love it.
They brought in the new update, and I swear it had to have been a bug, Will, because the moment the update came through, June finally decided to date me.
Yeah, I mean, it probably
Like-
was.
Sure, I'm already 8 out of 10 hearts with you.
I mean, at least June wasn't waiting until the witch update.
Well, I feel like that's a great way to transition into Matt introducing the folks we have on this show and this show in general. Now that I've done all the channel keeping announcements, so Matt Tuwu, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I am
You
Matt, or
responded to it
Urbanoff at
this
various
time.
places in the internet, or if we want to go into our crazy titles again, Urbanoff the Thrice Cursed. But yes, I'm here to run these group of adventurers through the Strength of Thousands adventure path, and also other crazy stuff that I have invented because...
The what? The
I-
what
I-
adventure path? I don't know.
Did I say Strength of Thousands, or what did I say?
No, I'm making a joke about how
Yeah.
what adventure path because
Yeah.
we haven't been playing the adventure path.
Like 3 weeks, maybe, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, 2 weeks. But I'm not really the draw here. It is these lovely players, and I'm going to start with someone who's got the most Halloween-y kind of thing going on tonight, and that's the purple background McKenna has. And so please introduce yourself, your character, and for the fun question tonight, what is your go-to spooky Halloween kind of thing to watch or do? If you have a traditional Halloween thing you do. For example, every year I watch Over the Garden Wall.
Have you done your watch yet?
I have. There was pie.
Good, excellent. Hi everyone, I'm McKenna Ray Tynan of McKenna Ray Art on all of the socials. And tonight I'm playing Avi Avi, the little Nyctera witch, and her familiar Agate. I know this sounds crazy because I'm gay and every gay person loves Halloween, but I don't really have like a Halloween tradition. I just sort of wait for somebody to invite me to something and then go whole hog on it. So
So you're like a Halloween mushroom. You just sort of absorb the Halloween flavor of other things.
yeah, like a Chilean sea bass,
Hmm.
which is neither Chilean nor a sea bass, but that is what people call it.
I love a good misnomer,
Dun, 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 dun,
like the incredibly deadly viper.
Is it not incredibly deadly?
Am I the only one here who ever read Lemony Snicket?
Yeah.
Oh
no.
no, but it's been a minute.
I don't know. That has always stuck in my head. But speaking of things that are ostensibly potentially deadly, like spiders or something, but are actually sweet cinnamon rolls, Sarah, why don't you introduce your character and yourself?
Aw, hi. I'm Sarah Margaret. I'm playing Charlotte, the Anati toxicologist. She will kill you, but she'll apologize afterwards.
She'll be real nice about it.
She'll be real nice about it. I am kind of in the same boat as McKenna, actually. I tend to appreciate the Halloween vibe, but most of it is just like through third-party imbibing more than anything else. I do love to do a nice ritual on Samhain, which I started doing a couple years ago when I started studying more Wiccan.
Didn't that just happen?
Fallen?
Or is it soon?
Solid, I believe, it's like the night of Halloween.
It's
If
Oh.
I'm not
nice.
mistaken.
My mistake. But
But yeah, that's about it. I usually, depending on my mood, do a ritual or two.
fair enough. And speaking of characters that do rituals to summon power, or frogs, Will, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Hey, I'm Will. I'm playing Igara, Gamma, and Choco. You can find me at Tabletop Rolls. Everyone on the internet, go check out our YouTube and stuff. Have fun with that. And to answer Matt's question, I don't really like celebrating Halloween.
Why?
I do not have joy in it. It does not bring joy.
But you get to dress up and be a silly little goofy
I do
goof.
I do get
You could
to
be
do
a sexy
that.
cat.
I would be the most well.
An owl.
I'm sure I'd be sexy to somebody. But yeah. Anyway, Halloween, as much as I love Halloween, celebrating holidays in general, not my jam. Just like
Challenge
celebrating my
accepted.
birthday.
Oh, Matthew's gonna make this your best Halloween ever.
Halloween night Your window. But speaking of fun surprises outside your window potentially, Will, I don't know where this segue's going.
PJ, did you fly to Canada?
Yeah.
Surprise! The screen has
Yeah.
your back street behind it.
It's a golf course.
Surprise! I was about to throw that over. No, I'm not doing
But we're welcoming back to the campaign PJ. So why don't you introduce yourself and remind everyone who you are playing in the campaign?
Hello, everyone. My name is PJ McGaw. You can find me all over the internet at PJ McGaw, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. I'm always there. And I'm playing everyone's little favorite good boy, Benji the Basenji. And it's going to be fun to get back in it. I don't know how often I'm going to be visiting you all, but I got some downtime in my planner, so I am here to I'm here to do good stuff with y'all.
Oh my god, is this your first time? It's not your first time playing with Sarah, is it?
No,
This is your
No.
second.
Second.
That's
Yeah, the
right,
last
there was
time I was
three.
with y'all, that was my first time with Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Igor went on his nighttime walk.
Yes.
Yes.
And Zoe will be here in a bit. They just have a family thing tonight that's taking a little bit longer than they thought, so they'll be joining us when they can.
And also, as a final thing before we launch into the intro, I kind of fibbed one of my real personal thing I do for Halloween on my own is, and I have to start this early in the day, I spent about 9 hours having the entire Scary Game Squad playthrough of Until Dawn going in the background, because Until Dawn is my favorite horror movie.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Especially with the commentary with Scary Game Squad. They have a great combination of really good insights into the plot and also bullshit theories that don't pan out.
Hmm.
But anyway, we're here to play the Strength of 1,000, so Will, why don't you go ahead and roll that intro?
Pushing the button. We're back.
When last we left the lore speakers of the Magambia, they had returned from their diplomatic mission to the temple city of Bazali, which it went well, surprisingly. Just considering it has a semi-divine autocrat leading the city who, really, why should he change anything? He's a god. But you managed to convince him to change a few things with a little, I suppose, almost extortion on his side. He had I'll do it, but you got to do this thing for me. But yeah, you guys pulled off that. You succeeded, returned to the Magambia and Natambu in sort of triumph. There wasn't like a parade or anything. But you have returned to the city to discover that, unsurprisingly, the world kept turning while you were gone, and certain things kind of were spiraling out of, not necessarily control, but out of your comfort zones. The Order of the Enlightened, or the Illuminated Tree, have continued to deepen their influence in the city. They have literally put down roots. They have a small compound now, and there's a strange pale tree growing out of the center of it that no one has been able to get close enough to really examine. And the proprietress of the Black Hat Magic Shop, Mercedes, had, for some reason, sort of gone over the deep end and was acting irrational and kind of sad one moment and overly affectionate at other times. There was an imbalance in her magical humors, perhaps. You guys decided to investigate this and got involved in a weird fight where you both had to fend off her headless body and her flying head that kept trying to bite people. And not in a fun way.
Listen, as a hysterical woman with imbalanced humors herself, I felt bad for her.
You're too chloric. You need more sanguine.
And we're here to celebrate her rights and her wrongs. And
Yes.
also, maybe she's got ghosts in her bloods and she needs to do cocaine about it. I don't know.
Introduce magical cocaine.
Jesus Christ. I'm just
Explains
imagining-
a lot. Explains a lot about Benji's energy levels.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys heard about
You
this new
just
thing going around campus? It's called devil dust.
No,
Oh,
no, no, no.
no.
It's called Good Boy Powder. How dare you?
I mean, it has many names.
It's what makes me a good boy. I'm just sitting on like, hi, how's it going? What? No, don't worry about me. I'm just happy to be here.
Anchor it looks at it. Yeah, this is flour.
This is flour.
It's
And
all
it's- and
just a placebo.
It's all a placebo. It's like, why does he get so manic when he snorts flour? It's like, look, don't
No question.
ruin his dream. Just let him
It's
let him
just-
be.
He's absorbing the vibes. That's all.
Yes, that's it.
But
100%.
You have a opportunistic use of some magic items in the bowels of the Black Cat. You managed to freeze Mercedes' head in a perfect sphere of seemingly unmeltable ice. You also ran into an old compatriot of Mercedes who revealed her whole backstory, essentially, where she had perhaps evoked too much of the devil side of her tiefling heritage, and it had sort of overtaken her, and then she got her head cut off, and then she just sort of became this deal-granting person with no goal in life beyond just sort of spinning her wheels.
It's for the best of us.
So you are also aware now that in the legendary Lost City, that you all now conveniently have a map for, coincidentally, there is a flower called the Kiss of the Sun, which is the only difficult to obtain, well, for the more difficult to obtain ingredient for a ritual that might restore Mercedes to her previous self, assuming the decapitation doesn't immediately go, oh, now we're going to behave like a decapitation how it's supposed to, and she just starts, bleeding from both ends. But that's a problem for,
Not
later.
the way that you think, though.
Oh,
Is it worse than what I'm thinking? Because what I'm thinking is bad.
I'm
Very bad.
thinking one side of her neck and also the other
Yes.
side of her neck because it's
Yes.
a decapitation. That's an important point of clarification.
Okay, good, because I was not thinking
No,
sides of
You're
no
all
other way.
terrible.
out there.
You're all terrible.
That's-
Other way.
Except Will. Will was good. He kept anything horrible in his head.
Which is not the norm.
No, it's not.
I don't know, Will. I don't know. You're pretty
Say.
good. You're
What
pretty
did I
good.
say?
But yeah, we're gonna zoom back in to the Megambia where you guys kind of returned. You had some talk with the staff, but before we do that, because a current member of the party right now has been absent for a little while, I just want a little check-in just to inquire. In the nearly half a year that the party has been off in Mazzali doing diplomacy and all that stuff, what has Benji been up to?
Well, Benji's specific tribe of Basenji dogs is a really big, I don't say business, that's not the right word, but let's just say humanitarian effort of helping humans and people in need, specifically humans, but anyone else. So I think once he got his first semester under his belt, maybe things became kind of hard to afford or whatever, and the Megambia
Oh.
decided to give him very rough. Yeah.
Not inflation and not Tambu.
Not
mean-
my fantasy game. Leave it alone.
I'm
Ever
not-
since,
I'm not-
ever
I'm
since
not
the
saying
silver
that.
mine collapsed, the currency has become unstable.
Ugh.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they can't afford it. I'm not saying it's too expensive. I just think the let's just say the grant was for half a year and not a full ride. So he's like,
Benji
Oh.
coin crashed.
Benji coin.
Oh, is that a term?
Instead of the
Heard that
Doge
before.
coin, it's just his little head.
Oh,
with his
Benji
hat.
coin. Okay.
Yeah.
Coin.
So
Uh,
he decides to go on a kind of work school program where he will travel doing the things that the Basenji tribe does while he gets notes and lesson plans and magical tutelage from afar, so he can still learn and keep up to date. Probably won't be as good as everyone else's education having been there, but it's still enough to keep him up to date. And then he hears about this totally friendly, super not a cult group of people that just kind of started settling into town, and he's like,
Oh, I don't know about that. I know cult people. They're very, very nice, but sometimes they just try to kill you. And I think I need to go over there and investigate.
so he's kind of working undercover as just a good boy who wants to help the cults out or the not a cult help out, just to kind of
is-
get a vibe if they're sus or not.
Worth mentioning that this totally not sus, not cult, is wearing the same clothing as the people who were attacking Igor the last time you were playing. Got the same uniforms.
Benji's a big believer in I'm going to, everything with a grain of salt. I'm gonna let them fail themselves, and when they're like, "We have an evil plan," he's gonna be like,
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
no.
I'm super sorry to hear that. Fireball.
Regrettable life choice. Next.
You're a bad boy. You do not get good boy tokens.
Too true. Too true.
You guys happen on your way back from speaking with Teacher Ott. You run into Benji crossing the campus. He is there to pick up some materials from a recent class, and you guys just sort of run into each other on one of the many paths throughout the campus. And
Oh, wait.
begin scene.
I don't know. I apologize, but I don't know if we got to finish the conversation with Teacher Ott.
Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Well, he had no more information to impart to you.
That's fair. Did he have any response to the information that we imparted onto him? The last
Can you be
scene
a little
was
specific?
Avi pulling out the whole corkboard red yarn, all of it, and explaining all of it because we were given news about Kiara, and she was like, "This is what we have found on our end."
Well, Teacher Ott is going to say, basically to that, you are lore speakers now. If you feel in your judgment that there needs to be a much deeper investigation into the inner workings of this cult, and he uses the term cult because you guys are using the term cult and he trusts your opinion, he basically says, do what you feel is necessary. At this point, I trust that you will... you just went through a whole diplomatic mission. I trust you will keep, both the reputation and the ideals of the Magambia in mind. He's not saying, oh, we must maintain our reputation, but you have ideals that you do stick to. It's important, and he trusts you guys will not just go in guns blazing like, we're the law in this town, fireball, fireball. I don't like you, fireball.
Generous.
I am low.
Avi thanks him and makes it all the way to the door before she turns around and she said, "Actually, I was wondering, when Kiara first came to the school, who sponsored her?"
She happened to meet, I can't remember who exactly at the time, I would have to go into the records, but she happened to meet a teacher who was in town, and they struck up sort of a semi-friendship, just getting to know each other, and eventually she was invited to join because she seemed to have good magic sense.
Which teacher?
I'd have to go into the records. I'm afraid it was a while, and it wasn't directly involving me.
Fair enough. I had the thought that perhaps if we knew more about where she came from before the Magambia, we may have a better idea of where she might have gone after.
Where did she come from? Where did she go?
Precisely. Just like Cotton Eye Joe.
Not
I'm
like
not familiar.
Cotton Eye Joe. Not like Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, I also do remember, after we resolve this bit, we also have to do Charlotte's investigations. I almost forgot. Sorry.
I can wait until we get into that ghost.
There is some interesting stuff that I'm sure Charlotte would be very interested in.
Oh sure, but let's get Benji into the game first. Yeah. I am cool to wait till after we get Benji caught up to speed.
Well,
I'm just writing.
With that, then I thank Teacher Ott a second time, and I am on my way.
Oh, we're heading out. All right, later, Ott.
Good luck, everyone. I look forward to hearing of your adventures.
Oh, wait! I'm sorry. One more thing.
Oh.
We
One more thing.
might need to be going on another excursion.
Oh, hold on. Now I actually have to pull up the school's
Sorry.
response.
Should I have waited for this?
No, I just so you are hold on a sec. No, we're in chapter 3 now. So you are going to are you going to reveal the tablet and what you know about um, Osibu? I think it's the city.
I think it has to be Osaibu, but
Osaibu, yeah. Okay.
yeah, I think so. Unless
Yeah.
someone in the party has specifically said, like, no, we shouldn't do that.
All right. Well, Teacher Odd hears that, and he actually quickly calls for High Sun Mage Oyamba. Oyamba.
Yes.
First of all, he really wants to thank you guys for your contributions to the mission and all that. He would be very interested in supporting you guys in a expedition to verify the authenticity of this map. And he'd be more than happy to have you guys head this expedition because you found the map and you guys are sort of the rising stars of the school in a way. Oyamba notes that Osaibu has remained hidden for as long as people have lived in the Milwaukee Expanse. While the possibility of finding the city is exciting, the city might be hidden for a reason. He fears that visiting the Golden City could result in more people learning of the city's location and eventually ruining its sanctity or worse. He does note, there are many parties within the Milwaukee Expanse that do have sort of expansionist mindsets. You guys ran into that particular tribe, of lizard folk who aren't necessarily malevolent, but, they are a kind of expansionist. He emphasizes that the Magambia's search for greater knowledge shouldn't come before the safety and well-being of the people of Osaibu.
I don't think that is a concern for me. It is worth noting that my own coven takes measures to sort of hide themselves from the outside world. And frankly, part of my fascination with Osaibu in the first place is that I would love to know some of their methods to keep my own coven safe.
Well, whatever you find, they do also recommend that you take all precautions because, based on the map and kind of rumor, it is very likely that Osaibu is located in what's known as the Screaming Jungle.
Yeah.
And it didn't get that name for being a fun place that people scream out and join. So it's not a raid.
Do we just go there and everyone's like, jungle, we love you!
I love mango so much.
I just imagine a bunch of trees screaming continuously.
They're like, oh, what a cool bird. Just the bird just screams constantly. But yeah.
Yeah.
You guys will have license to
Kill.
go to the hidden... I did not say that. I did not say that. We can't give you that license.
I'm not
Alright,
hearing
that's the
a
Pathfinder
Oh,
denial.
you said
Society.
license to kill. I heard license to chill. Am I wrong? Was it license to chill?
It was
License to chill. You guys always have license to chill because you're friends with Shazare.
We're also friends with Mercedes, who is currently frozen in a magical block of ice.
I'm
Also,
sorry,
I'm-
I can't chill. I'm too hot.
I'm imagining wherever you've kept the head right now, because it's a perfect sphere, it's just continually rolling around.
She's gonna be so fucking dizzy when she wakes up.
I almost kind of wish we had where you guys defeated the body, because then you could have just carried Mercedes' head around like Lollipop Chainsaw, and it would have talked to you.
Oh
No, I would have loved that, honestly. I would have
Mercedes Pop
carried it
Chainsaw.
like I would have
don't see that
used
fan
my
art.
I would have used my spider webs to create, those beautiful little hanging orb planter things with the great lattice rope work.
Oh.
Make that to hang on the side of
He might have gotten a
my
very
house.
weird tan then.
Mostly.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Alright, Avi, you got everything you need from
yeah, I got it all out of my system.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
good? You good, Avi?
The not quite yelling at the administration for not doing anything.
Yeah.
There's a giant freaking tree in the middle.
I mean, it's not that big. It's just remarkable that it's grown so quickly, and it's
I
kind of weird
mean-
looking.
And
It's weird looking.
tapping directly into a ley line convergence, and there's more of them popping
To
up
be
in
fair,
other cities.
this is the Magambia. The cafeteria is on a convergence of ley lines. There's a lot of ley lines. That's why the school is here.
Right. It's a giant
But with-
circular structure with lines,
Yeah,
okay?
that's right. We're laying down a new ley line right now, folks. We just gotta dig up the
Hard
path
hat
here.
on. Careful now, we got a
Anyway,
mana leak over there. Stay clear.
At
Ah,
this point, I think we
shit.
can leave the building, and at this point, maybe we run it to Benji.
Oh shit, Benji!
There is a flying bat hug.
Splat.
Splat in your face.
You're a tiny creature, and I'm a small creature. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess I'm just like hugging the face hugger. Is that what I'm doing?
Something like that. Something like that.
It's so good to see you. It's been forever. How have you been?
Hi. I've been
Gotta find the voice again.
I've been good. I've been really busy. There's this cult that's not a cult that's in town, and I've been looking after them. We're the Basenji coin is not as strong as we thought it was. We're working on the good boy currency. Other than that, life has just been like, it's just been a journey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's maybe the best way to put it. Just on account of we've been in Mazzali doing diplomatic stuff, which is still not my forte, so that was kind of a trip. And we're gonna go on another trip soon. But this one's gonna be more of a journey, so I think it's gonna be maybe more my speed.
That's good. I'm so excited.
You can see his little tail just like wagging profusely.
I think we were just gonna go and check on Charlotte. You remember her, right?
Like she's a spider, right?
Blue Spiderlet? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
She's talking to. You remember Mercedes? You remember that nice lady you made a deal with to come and help us?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, I'm sure she remembers.
There's a roll of parchment somewhere in the black hat that's twitching a little.
Okay, now PJ out of character does not remember. What did I do?
Basically, the way we justified that you showed up out in the jungle to help them was that there was some premonition that they were going to be in trouble, and you ran into Mercedes as she was returning to the city, and you made a deal, and for a favor in the future, you were teleported right to your friend's side over a great distance.
It was actually a pretty specific favor, Matt. Do you remember what it was?
Being a guard dog? I can't remember now exactly.
Kill the cat. Do you remember what cat, Matthew?
Yes.
What?
But thankfully that needs to be activated, that favor essentially, and she can't do it from inside.
She hadn't selected the favor yet.
No, it was basically she was basically building up a bodyguard force in case Snow ever directly came for her again.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's
okay.
what it was.
I mean, if you hadn't frozen her head, she might have been able to activate it right now.
So, question: this cat that I may or maybe not have to kill at some point in time, are they flammable?
I mean,
Probably.
they smelled a lot like they were drenched in alcohol. So yeah.
Oh, not my booze, buddy. No.
Not that one.
Different
okay.
booze cat.
Okay.
This one less making of the booze and more just they have a problem.
Well, I mean, it's been a pandemic, don't we all? Okay.
We have
Cool.
a sneaking suspicion that cat is
no.
probably fine.
And that Mercedes is not going to ask you to hurt that cat. Mostly because Mercedes can't ask anyone anything right now.
I get it.
What's wrong? Is she having like a migraine or like that time? What's wrong?
You know how sometimes you get sick and you have a fever?
No.
Well, it's like the opposite of that.
She gets sick and she's got a cold?
You could say that. You could say that.
Yeah.
She's got a fever, and there's only one prescription.
When they wake up, the
It's a long story, but I'll tell you about it on the way if you want to come with us. Charlotte's currently down at the Black Hat. Maybe taking inventory? The store was a mess. So I think she might be taking care of that and getting Mercedes comfortable.
We
Yeah.
joined Charlotte, having just fought off an attack from 3 flying books.
Oh no.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I'm trying to read you. If you move, I can't actually write what your titles are. Ow! If you
It
give
was-
me a paper cut, I swear to God.
It was Self-Actualization for Dummies, volumes 1 through 3. But yeah, Charlotte, you have been just sort of slightly kind of, because you don't even know where to begin necessarily, wandering from room to room in the Black Hat. Mostly it's just been a lot of like books and scrolls. You also see Mercedes has very inconsistent handwriting. When she is writing for other people, it's very lovely flowing script and everything. Looks very classical kind of contracty stuff. But then her own notes is horrible, shorthand stuff.
Okay.
But there's only like 2 rooms you haven't looked in yet. You haven't really found a whole lot. There's a lot of magical doodads and stuff, but a lot of them, potentially are dangerous. You haven't gone poking on them very much, so you haven't found.
I can detect magic.
You're like,
I can
"I'm gonna-"
also read magical artifacts because I make them myself. So I'm like,
Do you have detect magic, by the way?
So I have actually detect magic as a cantrip.
All right, you turn on detect magic in this shop, and it's like turning on night vision goggles outside. Like, oh my god! And it's all various colors too, because various different schools of magic have different sort of auras and colors.
Charlotte just immediately drops her goggles down. Like, okay, that's better.
Custom goggles too, because you have many eyes.
Yes, custom goggles, and they have dark vision things for them. Like, I got enhanced goggles, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
popped
right.
out the lenses.
when you pop down the dark vision goggles, you now see there is a broken broom in the corner of the room that wasn't there. You couldn't see it when you weren't looking through dark vision.
I'm gonna go look at the broken room.
It appears to be magical, though compared to everything else in the room, the magical aura is very faint, and it is broken in 2 pieces, and it's just sort of sitting on a shelf.
Well then, Matt,
Yes,
you say that to a great crafter.
yes.
I'm going to fix that room.
Well, give me a crafting check to even see if you know how to fix it.
Could very well be a clean sweep here, folks.
Ba-dum, bum.
So this is the skill feat that I have,
Okay.
and I don't know if that works. So I have magical crafting, so I understand magical crafting, but I will
Yep.
do a crafting check.
38.
38.
You determine that the reason why the aura is so low on this, through kind of a detect magic, is that probably someone snapped this broom over their knee, and that caused the magic inside the broom to go poof, 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 up into the air. So it's just residue on the broom. It's not even really magical anymore. But the thing about it that it is kind of neat, you flip the goggles up, now you can't see the broom. Flip the goggles back down, you can see the broom. It apparently is invisible except to dark vision, which is a weird thing, and also would not help with nighttime infiltration.
It's a broom.
I'm sorry, can I help you?
Meow.
Here comes the tail, folks. There
But
it
yeah,
is.
there. Unless you're looking for something very specific, there are only really 2 rooms you haven't gone through yet.
Okay. Let's start with room numero uno. That's, I guess, closest to the storage room that we were in, I suppose.
This actually seems to be a bit of a studio, not a workshop, but like a studio. There's like a writing desk with piles of parchment and various kinds of inks. There is also one side of the room with a whole bunch of canvases and paint pots and the like. The strangest about that side of the room is none of the canvases are blank, and none of them really have much on them. You look at each of them, and they all have the same sort of weird kind of markings. It looks like someone wetted a brush with paint, put the brush onto the canvas to start painting, moved it like once to the left, and then it looks like the brush just sat there and dripped down the page. Like they made one line and had no idea how to continue.
Oh.
And there are numerous instances of this. Whoever was painting in this room tried many times to paint something and seemingly couldn't get past the first stroke.
Oh God, me with writing.
Funny you should say that. You investigate the desk, and other than data sort of entry, like records of things, you do find a few instances that seem to be an attempt at poetry or some prose, and they never get past the first sentence.
Also, thanks for the raid, Matt.
You find a few pages that appear to have been,
Thank you.
in mild frustration, stabbed by a quill a few times. Like someone got so annoyed with being able to complete a sentence, they started absentmindedly poking the page with a sharp quill.
Oh God, jeez me. That is so sad. And way too personal. Okay. Beyond the fact that she's got some creativity block, obviously, is there anything else I can glean from within the room that might be of use or something intriguing?
Give me I wouldn't say, hold on a sec. I'm not going to say perception check necessarily, because this is looking around in the room. Give me... Well, yeah, no, a perception check. We don't have an investigation in PF2. So just a perception check to gleam. You guys are about halfway to the shop at this point.
Somebody's
20,
been
42.
playing Baldur's Gate, eh, Matt?
Well, no, I'm always a little weirded out by using perception to not notice things, but look for things.
Yeah, I always think of perception as seeing the whole picture and investigation as being minute. So for me, I get that.
Yeah,
So
perception
it's
is
like I'm
more like
investigating by
awareness.
perceiving. Yeah. I'm going to investigate by perceiving.
Yeah. I feel kind
So
of
nat
bad.
20 with a 42.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad to use the nat 20 for this room, because other than the instances that, or the examples that you can see that whoever was using this room had a horrible case of creative sterility. That anything that wasn't functional, they had seemingly no spark for.
That
but
just
they
gives
did.
me character depth.
Yeah, they tried a lot. This and all this does seem to be, there doesn't seem to be any business stuff in here. It's all like personal writings, the painting and trying. There's even a few little instances of some whittling, which also didn't get beyond like a couple like cuts.
Oh, this poor girl.
I feel bad. There's not a whole lot to find in this room.
No, I am
Maybe
going
she hears
to.
something whizzing or whirring in the next room over.
Perhaps.
I mean,
I am going to pick up one of those little whittling things and with one set of hands start like idly like whittling.
well, actually,
just, like...
you do notice. I'll give you this one thing. One of the pieces of wood is a very particular or interesting bit of wood. The wood itself is actually kind of blue. And this is one of the pieces that she was trying to whittle.
I pick it up with the intention of maybe whittling something with this pretty piece of wood.
Yeah, maybe something blue.
Maybe something blue.
Out of a borrowed piece of wood.
Anyway, and as I do this and kind of like just casually look over the piece of wood, I will walk into the second room.
At this point, you hear like the door open and the rest of the party arrives.
And I'm
Knock,
back.
knock, Charlotte.
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm over here or down here and second door to the left after the storage room.
They
And,
brought a friend.
and that, Benji, is where the horny satyr was.
You hear an echo of mmm.
Shut up.
No, I put you back in a cage. You're not allowed to talk, remember? You promised.
Oh, but I came
I-
back for you, darling. I came back.
I will-
hate to ask this because I don't think PJ's gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. What happened to that old man?
Oh.
He doesn't seem to have been dragged into the painting. He seemed to have escaped. There is a bit of a dried mess on the floor.
Oh yeah, he probably
Poor
crawled
thing.
back to his house and is
Yeah. You do find
he's
the
essentially sorry. He is essentially working off at least 3 days worth of what some would refer to as the worst hangover of all time.
Somebody, and we're not gonna name names here, poisoned it with belladonna as I think a joke.
Was it
Somebody-
Igora? Was it Igora?
No, actually, good guess.
No.
though.
You
It
have to
was-
lick Igora to be poisoned.
Oh. Was it
Is that making me
Popstar?
venomous
Technically,
or
that-
poisonous?
That actually is toxic. I think frogs are toxic.
Igor being toxic? No.
Oh. Only to his enemies. Hey.
Just get into a fight and it's just like,
It's
you know,
joke.
like
It's joke.
I'm trying to think now. Like poison arrow frogs. Are they poisonous or toxic?
okay, so hold on. So one is if you eat it, one is if it's in your blood, and one is if it's
Well,
If
if you
it's-
bite,
If it bites you and you die, it's poisonous.
no, it's
Yes.
venomous.
it's venomous. It's
Oh.
venom. Yeah.
If
And
you
if
bite it and you
you
die,
die, it's
Die.
poisonous.
Poisonous.
Yeah.
And if it bites you and then turns your arm and turns into a suit around you, it's also venomous.
Yeah.
What a
It's venom. It's venom-ish.
these jokes are becoming very symbiotic. Anyway,
Hey.
Oh, God,
you all
I'm
guys also do
venomous.
find what appears to be the remains of a tiny, those horrible little sharp-toothed pixies civil war. A battlefield of dead pixies is around that one painting. It was a very quiet civil war. Sarah or Charlotte didn't even hear it.
Yeah, no, I was too preoccupied with the books smashing in my face.
Well, drama cleanup.
To answer your question, poison dart frogs are toxic.
Oh.
Their
Wow.
colors correlate with their toxicity. Anyway, I googled. Yes, I am down here if you are interested. I'm a little bit well, I've gotten a majority of the stuff cataloged for the most part. She wasn't very organized even before she went crazy.
You would think
Be-
they'd be
Benji,
organized. The devil's in the details.
give me a perception check, Benji.
Okay. Hold on. I have to remember how to do it on the VTT.
Character sheet, right side, right below
Perception.
your hit points.
Cool. And it's not initiative. It's just perception.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. There's a button I clicked. I got a 34.
It's been a long time since you've set foot in here, Benji, and things are more disorganized here now. And while they're having this conversation, something to the side draws your attention. There is a little, like, rubber ball that's just bouncing. And you hear a voice. I'll always return if you throw me. We could have so much fun together.
No, 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 no. I don't know you, stranger ball. No,
But I squeak so delightfully.
I don't even know what that sounds like, so I don't have a reference. Duh.
Benji, are you okay?
Yeah, there's a ball talking to me. It's telling me it wants to play forever. I'm telling it no.
Avi, you hear a voice in your head. I could teach you so many spells. I can bounce runes in the air.
I cannot think of a single ritual where bouncing runes is relevant, but
Well, that just means you have so much to learn.
No, thank you. You're
Are
a very
you-
silly ball.
I'm sorry, are you talking to the bouncing ball?
Sure I am.
Yeah.
Charlotte, I could teach you so many rubber-based poisons. The toxic things you could introduce to people's blood. Toxic shock.
That's not from a
good, thank
poison.
you. I'm good, thank you,
that
dear.
comes from a tampon.
I would just let it bounce by itself. It'll eventually tire itself out.
PJ.
I
I could
feel-
have waited until you were finished with your drink.
No, it's fine. I feel like I'm a bad influence. I'm sure that wouldn't have been
No,
a
no.
problem.
Igora, Igora,
Great.
have you ever wanted to summon Gamma at a distance as far as you can throw?
No, I'm good. I don't need a gamma ball.
Are
Matt,
you sure?
Matt.
Yeah.
Tell me about this rare item in Mercedes shop. What about this one?
Oh.
It looks at you and you hear a gravelly, icy voice in your mind. Release me, mortal, and behold my magnificence. Also, give my tummy rubs.
Oh, Teddy.
I am the
you all ready?
overtyrant, the
Are you ready?
conqueror of blood.
Are you all ready? Are you all
Yeah.
ready?
There's a bed there, chat.
Yeet.
Is that
Anyway,
Diglett? No.
That's Teddy.
Nah, that's Teddy.
that's Teddy.
Teddy.
You've never met
Tedster.
Ted.
I've never met Teddy.
Sarah and Teddy's excellent adventure.
But yeah, you guys are in the magic shop being tempted by a rubber ball.
Sure I am.
Follow the bouncing ball of temptation.
I'm
It
Gonna
can
go
help
down
with
to the
musical
basement.
lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go track down that Talon of Winter and see if I can't maybe do some Arcana checks on it to see what exactly I hit Mercedes with.
I will guard the door with my life.
I
You
would
don't
like.
want to go in?
No, I'm good. Also, Ophelia's here now.
Oh, Ophelia!
In a burst of pinkish sparkles, Ophelia has arrived.
Hello.
We're back in
Ophelia.
Mercedes.
Ophelia, you see a bouncing ball in the shop and you hear a voice in your head. We could put on such amazing choreographed shows. Just take me into your hands.
Ophelia, ignore the bouncing ball. It's just
I'm not-
trying to get your goat. It'll bounce itself out.
I mean, do you want
eventually.
goats? I can totally hook you up.
No, I'm
I
good,
do
dear.
like goats. You know, like goat yoga is really.
I mean, we got
big.
good ones for
Yoga.
climbing. They're lean ones. Also, big puffy ones if you just need blood sacrifice.
Ooh, blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
Starting out
Ophelia.
strong.
So much sacrifice.
What, Avi?
I would like to remind you, Ophelia, that part of the reason we are in this problem is because you came to the shop and did stuff. So,
It's
Maybe
Part
don't.
of the
fine.
reason we're in this trouble at all is because of your hatred of a certain person.
Hey,
yes, I do. I will own up to the fact that I do have a level of despise for
Say your name.
Mercedes.
There we go.
Say her name.
Yes, I will admit, but I feel as though it is warranted.
It's not, but that's okay. Sometimes feelings aren't valid, and that's okay.
You
That's
know,
so true.
All right.
And if they're not valid, you should be able to get rid of them.
Endurance of Darkness raises his hand. Yes, he's been here the whole time. I feel like we're about to tread the same garden path we've tread
Yes,
a few
we are.
we
dozen
really
times.
are. And you know what? I've learnt my lesson. I will do what I think is best. And then Igor just goes outside and sits in
That's
front
fire
of
to
the
the
door.
shop.
Nope, Igor just goes outside and sits in front of the door.
I believe Charlotte is quite literally walking into the second room and past the hallway and hears like the continuous conversation, stops, looks up there, and just goes, "No, I'm busy right now." Just
Yeah.
walks into the second room with her book in hand, continuing to catalog things. Like,
One thing you do note, you reach and open this door, and as you're opening, you realize, oh, this door actually has like a lock, but it's not locked. But it looks like it should be locked, but it just sort of swings open. And you are greeted by a very different sight than the other room you went into, Charlotte. And you might want to call your compatriots over for this one. This
You just
room-
hear, guys, and then
This room, the big thing that dominates this room is there is a, not to scale, but there is a recreation of the entirety of Nantambu as like a model on a table.
Oh no.
And there are like little lights going off and something on it. Not to mention the fact that on the walls in here there are some cork boards with parchments pinned to it and
Not
names.
weird. People do that all the time. That's
Well, it's
not
not weird.
at
I'm just
all.
saying. And there are some very densely packed kind of cubbyhole shelves with scrolls sticking out of them with labels underneath.
I gotta read those labels.
Oh, so you're going into this room, not down to the basement now? I thought you wanted to go down to the basement. Nothing in this room for you.
Charlotte called me up here, so I'm simply being a good friend.
Okay. There are a lot of names you're unfamiliar with. There are a lot of names in here that are of completely different languages and regional stuff. How long do you spend looking at this? Because there's a lot of names.
I'm just looking for something that I recognize. If I recognize any of the names.
Give me a perception check.
Because possibly my name is on here. Possibly Benji's name is on here. Somewhere. Perception. 24?
Well, because you did mention
Not
it,
right.
2 names you're looking for. No, it's because it is alphabetized. And if you are looking for
Oh.
specific names, you can quickly zoom down. Yes, there is a scroll here in a cubby hole with your name above it, and there's also one for Benji's, which was higher up because it is alphabetized.
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
Oh, wait, you're right. Avi is 4. For some
Avi
reason,
starts with an A.
I keep
Unless
focusing
she-
on the V in your name.
unless she goes A and then B and then A, and then at that
Yes, it's-
case, in the alphabetized way, it'd be AV, so you'd be closer down to the bottom, and Ben G would be up closer down to the top because he's BE.
It's organized the way Chinese characters are written, vertically.
You know, Avi had previously.
I work for a records company. That's how you do it.
Avi had previously decided that she wasn't going to take anything from the store. But one, she's not taking it from the store. She's just picking it up. And 2, this has my name on it. This literally has my name on it. And I must see what is on that scroll with my name on it.
It is basically just essentially Mercedes she has written down the details of the transaction you made in very kind of clinical, very frank, just terms. Like,
Oh.
The
Nope,
contractual agreement.
yeah, just to keep track of it. And it doesn't like list what she was planning to ask you for anything. This is more of just I make a lot of deals. I don't trust myself to remember the important details of all of them, so as soon as I make them, I write them down and I stick them in this cubbyhole.
That's
I mean,
so
that's
smart.
just it's common sense, honestly speaking. I I am in here. I don't know who else besides me and Avi. I don't know if Ophelia and Benji
Let's do
have
quick
wandered
roll
in.
call. Igra is sitting out on the street. What is everyone else doing? You sure don't want to get involved in anything, Igra?
Ira pokes her head in the door. Anything trying to murder you all yet?
Not yet.
All right.
Igra, you hear a bouncy voice in your head. Oh, do you want to perhaps murder someone?
Oh, good God.
Balls.
You
is
know what?
bouncing.
That was a
You know what, Ball?
bouncy boy.
Just
Something.
Iguro walks over and just picks up the ball.
Oh,
Oh,
we will do great
Igra.
things together.
We're going to do so many great things together. Gamma, open your mouth.
Yes. Yes. Gamma, we will eat from her.
There you go. Sorry, that was a problem.
Gamma's head tilts to the side like he's listening to something.
The echoing in between his ears.
That's not fair. Gamma has some. I don't know what Gamma's intelligence score is.
Actually, I think he's a pretty smart. He's a pretty smart bro.
I mean, he hangs around a bunch of teachers. I would hope so.
I feel like
Sorry, yeah, we were doing a roll call where everyone went.
Yeah, I'm in there, obviously, so.
Ophelia, what are you doing?
I was gonna go hang out with Igora just to bother him, so I guess I watched the whole ball debacle.
Ballgate?
Ball?
Ballgate.
Benji, what are you doing?
Well, gosh, now I don't know because I'm really curious about Ballgate. I'm curious about the scroll with my name on it, and I think we were originally going to the basement. So I'm curious about that as well. I don't think I've ever been here in or out of character. So there's a lot of
Not
things to
actually.
simulate me. Yeah.
There's a
I
lot
think
of stuff in here.
we went to the Black Hat as a group the first time.
Mhm.
And then theoretically you might have been when you made your deal with Mercedes.
Actually, no, because he met her as she was coming back into town from giving you guys that ride.
Gotcha. So only once and only the front of house.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
possibly literally years ago.
Because I want to say that was when I got my beautiful spider silk tuxedo that wouldn't catch on fire, so I could do magic acts on the stage.
It may have been the same outing, but a different store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some lovely Anadi textile sellers in town.
Oh.
We're
Well,
very
I'm
good
gonna.
at
I'm
that.
gonna.
They
Yeah.
are.
I'm gonna look at the scroll with my name on it and see what it has to offer.
Basically, it is again just a very kind of clinical description of the deal that was made, that you were transported a great distance to your friend's side in exchange for an agreement to deal with a cat in the future. It does mention that it was to be on request, so it's not like a passive thing that if you ever bumped into this particular cat folk in the street, you would immediately go for their throat.
Okay, so it's not Mortal Kombat rules.
Yeah.
It's more like Call of Duty rules.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
You were not made into a sleeper agent. You might have been Winter Soldiered in a way where she would have said like kibble, water dish, doghouse, and you would have like then like, oh, I have to fight this catfolk now. Sorry, the rest of the party. I was potentially setting up a thing where you guys were going to have to fight Benji at one point.
Oh.
I'm actually kind of curious how that would go down because
You
Magus is
dare.
You would use
insane.
a bunch of your AoE spells right away.
Yes, I
You
would.
dare.
Yes, I would.
Delightful.
I would never want to hurt you, though. I'm just saying sometimes it's just kind of fun to see how the math works out.
Benji,
Yeah.
as you're now also studying the cubby hole of scrolls, give me a quick perception check yourself.
Okay. And I'm going to do it again, just like this.
23. You do note there is one cubby hole that has a bigger scroll stuffed in it right now that doesn't have a name above it. It says correspondence.
I'm just going to take that correspondence scroll and read it.
It seems to be a notice from a local Pathfinder Society office. It doesn't go into a whole lot of details, but it seems to be a discussion with some annoying details like names are missing, but apparently a high-level Pathfinder Society individual has gone missing. And there is some concern about where they have gone. They were not on a mission. They were traveling through the Mawagi Expanse to Nantambu to meet someone, and they disappeared on the road. And this person is very capable and very experienced, and the likelihood of them just being taken out by a random roadside monster is almost non-existent. So it's strange that they disappeared.
Is out of curiosity, is there, you might have said it and I just kind of dissociated for a bit, is there a name of the Pathfinder agent?
No, this seems like it's like the third letter in a back and forth. So they're talking about something that whoever these, like Mercedes probably and someone else were corresponding, and they knew who they were talking about, so they don't bother to name drop it in the letter. It's all in like second person and stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that,
Mm.
and I'm gonna tell Avi, of course. So I think you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still looking at all the different
Yeah, I think-
scrolls and
You, Avi, and Charlotte are all in this room.
yeah, I'm still looking to see if there's any other scrolls of any other names that I recognize, but when Benji points out that there's correspondence, I want to see if I can find the earlier letters.
From this particular correspondence.
Yeah.
Give me another perception check, because there's nothing else in this particular cubbyhole. This was like a mail slot, so this is probably something she just got.
Oh, interesting. 31. And you know what? Agate gets a 40.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like she kept the old correspondences.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Burn the letters. That's the way to go about it.
Though, you do note something, just in your kind of looking around the room. Your eyes are drawn to the big model Nontambu on the table. It's a big table. Much like a lot of this place, this room is bigger on the inside than it seemed from the outside. And one thing you do note, there is a representation of a small tree on this model. And you're looking at this, and you're noticing there are little, like, flashing lights that just sort of appear like sparkles in various places over the city. A high concentration seems to be around the Magambia, but there's also a kind of like, not as many, but kind of rapid fire little sparkles around the what you are realizing is the illuminated tree compound. If you want to try and figure out what these sparkles represent, you can give me an Arcana check.
With Discern Secrets.
Sure.
43.
43, all right.
43 with Discern Secrets.
You realize, looking at this and kind of figuring out the sparkles, their distribution, and why someone would have sort of a model like this, you realize this probably indicates sending spells being cast. She is essentially, though she hasn't necessarily, it doesn't look like it's giving you the context, Mercedes has been essentially magically wiretapping the entire city, but without actually the ability to listen in. But she knows whenever, well, you never know, you might be able to dive deeper into the map or something, but she knows when anyone in the city, or at least their location, someone is casting Ascending.
That is very useful information. I immediately set about seeing if I can't tap into this table.
This would be this will be difficult, because this is, 1, complicated magic, 2, unfamiliar magic. So, this will require another Arcana check.
Any sorry.
That's a natural 20. That's a natural 20. That's a natural 20.
Okay, well,
I handed you the gun, and you
tapped
found
in.
the one bullet in the chamber.
I've only seen McKenna this happy.
Yeah. So you get the feeling that you kind of it's kind of funny. You hop up onto this table, and compared to everyone else, this model table is surprisingly kind of big. You are sort of like towering above like an entire city of like Polly Pocket kind of stuff size table.
Avi finally feels tall.
Yeah, little bat kaiju. I am the knight. You feel like this. There is sort of like a magic weave, like a netting over the sort of thing that will respond to the will of a caster. So if you want to try and kind of stick your brain into the magic of this table, it will require a will test. You have to try and show the table who's boss.
Oh God.
Wow.
Well,
You got this, girl.
Now we go into the arc where Avi gets sucked into the table, and you guys have to Honey, I Shrunk the Kid and go into the table to save her.
Yeah.
how's a
I'm about
33?
that.
How's a 33?
33 is...
Oh, that was actually very... I'm sorry, I heard the crack. That came over the speaker.
33...
Crack my knuckles directly into my mic. I'm sorry.
You can feel sort of the magic. It doesn't have sentience, but the magic of the table, it doesn't bow to your will, like, oh, you are our god, no other before us, but it is responsive. It is like a non-secured computer that you can sort of use.
Okay.
Still very unfamiliar.
No VPN, but we're in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I want to see if I can listen to what's going in and out of the illuminated tree.
All right, you tap into the sending of the illuminated tree, and one thing that you notice that's kind of strange, there seems to be a lot of sendings happening around the loaded tree, and they're all happening at the same time. Like a whole bunch of people are talking to other people all at the same time. You tap into one little bit, and it just seems to be someone is telling a story to someone.
Okay.
You want to tap into a second one?
Hell yeah. I'm going to assume a lot of them are telling stories.
Here's the thing. You try a few different ones. They're all telling the same story.
And this
And
is over sending?
They are doing it. They are burning a lot of spell slots to do repeated sendings to tell the same story multiple times.
I gotta listen to this story.
Avi, you
This-
gotta get the goods.
The story, you've never heard this story before. You've never seen it in any of your books. You don't even have to check for this. You've never heard this story. And the language being used to it is not like an old language or anything. This is like a modern storyteller trying to tell a story about a powerful spellcaster who draws her power from great bodies of water and uses it as a medium and has power both through water and can send her power through water and is protected by water. They seem to be really emphasizing how much power she has and how much control over water and how the water feeds back into her power. They really seem to be emphasizing this.
Interesting.
But she's always broke. It's weird. No.
Is that a fairy tale reference or something?
No, that was a Mona reference.
Oh, I should have gotten that
And
one.
her name was,
I'm disappointed in you, McKenna. I'm disappointed.
And her name was Mary Tsunami.
Mary Tsunami. Oh my
And
god.
her name was John Cena. No.
Maybe they're using it as a supplies, like a coded supply.
Yeah, is there a code here?
That
I don't
would
know if
require.
we would be able to know.
Society.
Can
That
I
would be a
make
society check, maybe, yeah, or deception check. No, that'd be act of you trying to decide people. What would you do to decode? I would actually just say this would be a straight D20 plus your intelligence modifier to try and analyze this.
So only
Well,
a
they're
plus
doing-
5?
While they're doing that, is there any chance I can do like some sort of mental recall knowledge on the woman in the story?
You can give me a society check to see if you remember the story, but I'm quickly just gonna for
BRB, folks. My cat just crawled into my closet and something fell.
Oh.
Oh.
Understand? Go be a good cat
I
mom.
believe it was him.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Find out next time.
I would let you do a society check, McKenna, for deciphering the code.
I'll take society.
For
We
lack
live
of a
in
better thing.
society.
Um,
Like I said, McKenna, when it's not the AP, you're great.
This is a lucky drink. I gotta make this more often.
I was gonna say,
Are
what
you
are you
also-
drinking?
is that like out of a brandy snifter?
It is fruit juice.
This is a very special glass called My Glass, and it is specifically meant for whatever alcohol I put in it. I mean, fruit juice, not alcohol.
Yeah.
Which,
Oh, right. Look, I have some mead in my closet right now. We can just celebrate and kill that.
Is it dry mead
Is it dry mead?
or sweet mead?
Oh, it's definitely sweet. It's made out of
Okay.
honey and figs.
is it hoppy? I don't know
Figs.
mead. I don't know mead things. This is the
Mhm.
liquor and hibiscus tea.
This is
Mead is honey wine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like you get a lot at like Ren Fair, and it's a beautiful like old style bottle. It's from something called
Ooh.
like Bee and Brewery, and it's the All Father package, so it's got Odin's face on it. Really, really good, really good.
I
Um,
love.
but answering into the roles. So, Benji, you have never heard this story. It doesn't even sound like any story you've heard. Like they're not, telling a version of an existing story. And Avi, there's not enough about this story that you think it's any sort of code. Not to mention the fact that it's kind of weird that a whole bunch of people are burning a whole bunch of spell slots to just all tell the same story at the same time. Give me, though, I would say anyone who wants to is involved with this can give me an occultism check.
Ooh, guess what I'm good at.
I'm assuming Avi Avi and Benji are telling Charlotte what they're doing, and they're not just going
yes.
over the table.
Yeah, 100%. And
Oh,
I'm going
that's what they're
to
doing.
I'm going to not do the occultism because I only have a +5 to that, so I'm just gonna scoot away.
Get it at 20.
So that's a 32.
I'll take a 37.
Something tickles you in the back of your mind, Avi Avi. And you remember what all the things you've learned, because you especially, you've been, corkboarding and trying to piece together all the information you can about the illuminated tree. And one thing that you keep coming back to is their seeming obsession with stories. And how what Mariama was telling you, how they seemed to be sitting, the one glimpse she got of the inner courtyard where they were sitting around the tree and telling its stories.
Oh, hey, Elder Worm, thank you for the raid.
Thank you for the raid.
And you start getting a suspicion that if they're all telling the same story all at the same time, and it's not a story you heard, it's possible they are trying to invoke a power of this story. They are perhaps trying to manifest an aspect of this story or draw something from it.
Interesting.
Man.
I don't like that, not one bit. I may or may not be a little bit worried about that concept. Words have power.
You do note there is now one little spark near the compound that doesn't seem as synchronized with the rest of them. It just started.
I'm going to zero in on that real quick.
It sounds like this person is actually speaking in like some sort of code, but this is a code that you have actually read about. This is an old student kind of code invented at the Magambia. And it seems like someone in the compound is telling someone else what is like that people are like sitting around the tree and telling this story a lot and continually and burning a lot of spell slots to do it. And you get the impression this might be one of Teacher Ott's feelers, the people that he dispatched out.
Interesting.
And the tone is they're kind of concerned.
Ooh. That's not good.
But their
That's
message
really bad.
their message is very brief because they're doing ascending, and
Yes.
you get the impression that they wanted to get something out real quick and not be discovered.
Let's not draw attention to them by prying any deeper, just in case.
I won't pry into that any deeper. I will just, for the sake of it, ask if there is anyone else here communicating and not telling the story.
In the compound area?
In and around, yeah.
Give me one more perception check just to like root around for sparkles.
Sparkles. Come on, sparkles. It's a 38. What's a 38?
You do find one other sparkle that is nearby, but it is utterly inconsequential and has nothing to do with anything, and it's someone like talking to a distant family member.
Oh.
Yeah. It's what a normal person might use sending for in their daily lives.
Matthew, do I get the impression that I can return to this table and pull this stunt again?
Funny you should ask that. Give me a fortitude save.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's 38. I don't know what the fuck is happening tonight.
Thank
You
you,
roll it
Orange Jesus. Let's go.
McKenna, your
You
keyboard
ro-
is weighted. You actually sort of like realize you were almost sort of having an out of body experience, and you were letting your consciousness sort of start to spread over the map, and you realize, oh, my feet are kind of numb.
Oh
Oh
no.
no, am I allowing
Yappy.
my will and my focus to leave my body and merge with the table? I'm gonna pull back from that.
Avi,
Yeah,
Avi?
fair enough.
Yeah.
Hi.
She just kind of like
Charlotte.
flutters backwards.
Yeah, Charlotte reaches down and gently, like, cups her in her hands and lifts her up away from the table. It's like, let's not delve any deeper into the magic table, okay?
Matthew, was that sensation anything akin to what I felt the night I made that connection? Possible astral projection?
Oh, whoops.
Who?
Evil Kiara.
Maybe Kiara.
No, this was an entirely different flavor of magic. This is just
Okay.
using a very complicated and very involved magical tool that you are very unfamiliar with and unpracticed with.
Understood.
You were just letting yourself get a little too carried away, like letting your consciousness flow into the magic of this map.
Avi looks at Charlotte and says, I think I'll need to practice more.
Benji,
Oh.
give me a perception check.
Let me do that for you.
Hmm.
24.
Ivor.
Good enough. I was really kind of crit fail fishing. While Charlotte is helping Avi and she's just kind of like blinking and getting spots out of her vision, something catches your eye. On a table behind the other two, kind of back to the left of the map table, there is a side table with a lovely glass pitcher of water. A glowing eye, a symbol, like an eye symbol sort of, has appeared in the water and is looking at Avi and Charlotte. And you have a second to sort of take this in. The eye flickers and looks now directly at you. And then the glass water pitcher shatters loudly, and the water just flies all over the floor.
Okay. Before it does this, as I'm looking at it, can I use I'll say detect magic, that's not the way. Can I basically recall knowledge arcana to figure out what the hell this spell is?
Sure. Give me an arcana check.
All right. That is going to be right. Did it go wrong one? There. Oh, it's a there's a
hero
critical
point.
fail.
You
There's
have a
critical
hero
fail.
point. You have a single hero point.
Yep, I'm gonna use it. This is potentially important. Arcana.
Hey!
What the hell?
Yes, critical.
The dice
Duality?
taketh and the dice giveth back.
That's so good.
You think you don't necessarily recognize the spell, but this appears to be a manifestation of someone like exerting an authority they have over water to use it as a scrying medium.
Mary Tsunami.
Bitch! Son of a bitch!
Mary Tsunami.
That is not her name.
No, I know,
It
but I'm
is
calling out
now.
her name. Her name is Mary
Mary
Tsunami.
Tsunami.
I'm sorry, Matt.
No, I bring this upon myself enough.
It was such a good pun.
It's really damn witty. I gotta give you credit. I mean,
Here's the thing. Go find a basin of water and say her name 3 times while looking in the water.
No.
Mary Tsunami, Mary Tsunami, Mary Tsunami.
Beetlejuice. No.
Assuming
Hey,
Benji
all
points
right.
this out.
Well, for one thing, a large glass pitcher of water just shattered spontaneously behind you guys for seemingly no reason. Unless you think
Charlotte-
Benji's a bad boy.
Charlotte jumps and her palms go. And Avi flips it into the air.
Once I figure out what it is, and I realize, like, I kind of like that dog shame that dogs give, you know, that look of like, I'm like,
Whale
it wasn't
eye.
me.
Who ate the flowers?
It broke by
What?
itself.
What?
Side eye, side
I,
eye.
Okay, it's a weird shop, so that makes sense if it broke by itself. But why do you look guilty?
Cause something broke around me.
Did you see why it broke?
So in the water there was an eyeball, and it was looking at you all, and then it looked at me, and then it was like, nope, and then it broke.
Oh no, that's not good.
And someone was using some sort of domain or authority over water to remotely view us. I
That's
think it's
even
Mary Sue now.
worse.
So we have this cult that is trying to manifest power over water via some sort of sending ritual, and now we have someone exerting power over water. So
Water? The Galarian's like 75% water.
yeah.
You
That's
feel,
really
a,
so-
bad.
you feel a tightening in your veins. No.
Oh,
No!
Oh,
They're
Team
bloodbenders now?
How many?
I think we might need to tell Ophelia and Igora about this.
Speaking of those, that odd couple, out on the street.
That's a weird word for that.
Out on the road.
You call us a couple.
You know,
It's an expression.
A couple of scallywags, maybe.
I mean, you're still using the word couple.
Hey.
and we just sit here.
Yeah. We're just having a time.
Nice,
Fall.
breezy,
Yeah.
Fall time.
fall time.
A street vendor comes by. They've got poultry on a stick with spices.
Too spicy for me.
Ophelia will remember that.
Igora, how do you feel about stewed tomatoes
I mean, they're good.
with spices? Is that too spicy
No,
for
that's
you?
fine.
I'm talking about like ketchup. Some people think that ketchup is spicy.
My grandmother.
Isn't ketchup sweet?
Yeah, but some people think it's spicy.
My grandmother.
I wouldn't know. I haven't had ketchup in like 7 years.
Oh
You're
no.
allergic to ketchup?
I just had a
I'm
jalapeno
allergic
pizza
to
for lunch.
tomatoes. I'm
Oh, that'll do
allergic
it.
to tomatoes,
That'll do it.
among a lot of other things. So
Igora,
yeah.
Yeah.
do you season when you cook?
I mean, I eat bugs.
Do you season them though?
I mean, they're bugs. Have you ever had like a millipede? Those things are delicious.
Oh, why would I ever? You know, I
It's like-
hate bugs.
It gives you
I
like a
hate
little
looking at
it gives
them.
you like a little good scritch down the throat. It's nice.
I like that
Those-
implies that Igor doesn't chew.
So
You don't have
I
to
just
chew a
want to be that
millipede. It's like a
person.
big spaghetti.
You're hate
So I-
crimeing me right now.
I want to be that person, so and go. Salt's not a spice.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's technically like just
Pepper's
qualifies
barely
as a
a spice.
seasoning, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
a seasoning. Like
Just seasoning,
no
yeah.
peppers.
It
No
was-
pepper is a spice.
I was making a self-deprecating white person joke. It's
Yeah.
fine.
See, it's
Oh,
okay, Sarah.
no.
Like me, you are what I like to call mayonin. You're heavy in mayonin.
Oh no.
But yeah, like you know,
Listen, salt and pepper aren't a spice, they're a necessity.
well, they're
How about
they're
beginning
also
points?
cats.
What about taking my vegetarian
true.
chicken strips and like basting them in buffalo sauce?
That's fine.
We are
That's-
so far off course.
Yeah.
We are.
Anyway,
You guys are having this conversation with the street vendor. Their name
we
is
are
Matthew.
having this conversation with the
Yeah.
street vendor who is saying that he likes to put
He's
his
trying to make a
spiced
sale here.
chicken in some buffalo
On a
sauce.
stick. On a stick.
Honestly,
You get to keep the stick.
Igora,
What?
that's good pricing. You get a
do you,
stick.
do you want a spiced chicken stick?
I'm okay. I'm more of a pastries gal.
Yeah, I'm
I
more
like
of
a little.
And
I mean,
I'm a bug
I-
boy. I'm a grub boy. I love a
Back-
good grub.
back at the shop, we've got some savory pies if you want pastry.
Which shop?
Oh well,
Is that
we've
the
got
one below the barber shop.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't talk about them anymore. Ever since they put
But you sing about it.
No, they put hair and everything.
Oh, gross.
I mean, it's below a barber shop. What did you expect?
I mean, not other things in
No.
the pies. Surely not that.
Um,
Anyway, yeah, where?
it's called Baraba's poultry and stuff.
Barabbas poultry and stuff. What's the stuff?
The stuff is a whole
Pies.
lot of stuff. We've got savory pies. We've got salads with poultry in it, some cheese and some good dressing and stuff. Just anything you can imagine that poultry can be worked into.
Empanadas. Nice.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
Yum.
Matthew, know what an empanada.
I don't know. I prefer I prefer the stump I have out back of our out of our classroom area or teaching area, Ophelia. It's a great grub hub.
Wait, did you say you don't know what an empanada is? I'm sorry.
I know what an empanada is. The street vendor does not.
Okay.
How's business been at your shop? I know people are going for freebie stew these days.
Cult stew.
Well, their stew is mostly beef based, I think. I hear they have like a wholesale deal going on with steer and stuff.
Really? Who's got a deal with them?
Steer and stuff.
Steer and stuff. The
Just-
cattle.
They're called steerants.
Yeah, there are bitter rivals.
Yeah, one's beef, one's chicken. All right.
Okay.
It's in fact
okay,
two noble houses apart in meat.
Two meat holds, both alike in dignity. Ophelia, let's
But
go
not
and
in
check on our
seasoning.
friends. Let's go
But
check
not
on
in
our
seasoning.
friends.
And Farinatombu. Anyway, riveting conversation. Wonderful. Thank you.
So can I just
All I
do
am-
some poultry on a stick?
No,
all I'm
but I'll
thinking
support
is-
your business in a different way.
As soon as you
Cryptic, but I'll
say
take it.
that, the door bursts open and there's Charlotte going, Philia, Igra, we may have a problem.
Oh, what's wrong?
Charlotte's
Also-
hungry.
also-
Charlotte's hungry for chicken.
I also have a refreshing glass of water.
Don't touch it.
I smack it off the table.
What? What's wrong? Wait. What's
Water
wrong?
has eyeballs. Eyeballs are evil.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
okay.
no.
I mean,
That's
Benji.
exotic. That's exotic meats and stuff.
I mean, Benji. The power of water is its ability to take any shape, so I get it.
Yeah, no. Listen,
I get this whole like Pepe Sylvia thing behind me, and I'm like,
you see,
Avi, he's stealing your bit.
Avi, join me at the board of paranoia. We have to talk about this.
This is on the side of the
I feel
building
like-
now.
Avi's
Yeah, I
so
feel like
excited
too-
to have a partner in
So
corporate.
are you guys gonna pay for that water? It was chilled.
Oh yeah,
here you go. I give him some now defunct Benji coin or
Thank you
Basenji
for your
coin.
business.
Points
And
at a
Charlotte
sign
just, like,
that a
grabs Ophelia.
sign on the cart that literally has like a artist rendition of a dog on a coin. Does not
Uh-oh.
accept Benji or Good Boy coin.
Oh no!
I want to double
That's
down
so
and make some
sad.
dumb joke about like, there's no blocks in the chain. What's wrong? No, but I will absolutely take it back and give him real money that real
Okay.
people should use.
Stop by the shop, and he immediately starts moving quickly away because he feels you guys are weirdos.
That's fair.
It's just Charlotte
so
just like
true.
thank you and like grabs Ophelia and Igra's hand and just like. pulls
All right,
him
so
in.
we're going to go murder a cult.
Right.
Yeah.
We're hand
Yeah.
holding.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Let's go kill.
Something. Thanks.
Igra's hungry for blood.
Why is your bloodlust so out of control?
It's a thing with cults. You gotta kill. If
What
you
do
don't
you
kill
mean?
a cult, if you don't kill a cult, they're going to spring back up. Trust
if you
me.
give a cult a cookie.
Trust me, I know.
Well, is it possible to
If you teach a
rehabilitate the
cult
members
to
of the cult?
fish,
No.
Possibly.
if
It
you give a
is-
cult to
I-
fish,
it
you
is-
feed them for a day.
It is categorically impossible to rehabilitate cult members. You just have
Hey,
to
guess-
end their lives.
Guess what we
Yes.
just found out?
Wow.
We just found out that the cult members have a deal with steer and stuff. If we cut off their supply for their stew,
Or poison them.
that could
That
do
could
something.
cripple their power. Take away their stew.
It might.
People love that stew.
Ooh, Charlotte, can you poison the stew?
Don't poison.
Oh my god!
stew.
Okay, I have multiple things to touch on here. The first of which being Igora,
Yeah.
the former cult member, just said that cult members cannot be rehabilitated, and now I'm really really worried about you, Igora.
Yeah.
More so than I was already worried about you.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah,
And
we're
I
think-
worried about you.
All I'm good for is a noble sacrifice. We're
Look,
good.
I understand.
What are
I
you,
totally
season
get it.
1 Garl?
Look, I get it, but you know what? Hey, we can't have a sacrifice if we don't go and do the greater good.
That's what
so
we're doing.
maybe we don't poison them because that's not greater good. But maybe starving them is a little better. I don't know, guys.
Okay, wait. So on the scale of harm, okay, a death by poison, which is relatively for a few hours.
Oh, now Igor's got a chart. He's got a board.
Higher is higher up in the harm scale than starving someone to death, which can take weeks to do.
They have other sources of food. This is just not gonna let them give out free food and
feel
tempt
like-
people into their.
I feel like Charlotte turns to Ophelia and goes, and like she's still somewhat holding your hand. It is actually a nice feeling holding of hand. It's just like,
Aw.
you know, it's warm and cozy. And she just looks at you and she looks at you and she goes, "Where are they getting all of these boards?"
No, but I really.
Just
But
hear,
if
and
the
just
day
hear
comes,
just sigh heavily. And he's got like a little cart behind him.
There's a cantrip called Summon Corkboard.
said Charlotte, if
It's a
I ever
three-action
bring out
cantrip.
if we
Fuck,
ever
that's
bring
going
out
to
a
be a thing
board,
now.
just end me right
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Understood. I understand.
That's where I draw the line, Charlotte.
So I
Distracting from the most important thing. Which, Charlotte,
eyeball water.
I'll let you do the honors.
There's a lot of things to unpack, but let's start with the most, the most important thing, i.e., an eyeball was watching us do things in the shop. Yeah, an eyeball in water, and we very recently found out that the cult of that lovely cult tree, it is apparently cultivating a story to essentially manifest the a potential spellcrafter's ability to have control over water. Hence, an eyeball in water is a little worrisome, considering the amount of times they have told the same story over and over, like a sync cult tends to do, in regards
Same
to
story?
same story over and over and over
Same
and over again.
story
What
via
story?
sending, where they can only use 25 words a spell anyway. So we're talking about potentially hundreds of sendings just to tell the story as many times as they are.
What
I should
story?
also note the phrase that kept getting sort of repeated over in the story, and probably like the title of the story, was the Sage of Water.
The Sage of Water.
Yes.
And I tell Ophelia the whole story.
Have I
And
ever
now
heard that?
you have all heard the story.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Thank you for your contribution.
It's
Oh,
the ring
no.
It's a
all
mem-
over
It's
again.
a memetic virus.
Oh no.
Oh, that's actually kind of dope.
Have I
The power
heard
of
sick.
stories,
You
man.
shouldn't have told us that that's how it works. But it is sick, and I understand why you're proud of it and wanted to tell us how it works.
You can't kill a story.
Tells legends.
God.
Legends never die, humans do. In any case, so it may or may not come to fact that of something that we may or may not already know, but the cult is aware of us and that we are learning things, and that may become a worry in the near future, possibly now or soon, depending on how you want to look at things.
Well, they don't know that I'm doing that. They only know about the three of you.
Well,
Also-
they did have a picture of all of you, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Well,
But not all of
that
us.
was a whole different city in a different part of the jungle.
All right, well,
Um,
let's go
I
take
should
out a cult.
I should mention, and this is entirely my thing. It wasn't so much an eyeball in the water, like wasn't little like an eyeball suspended in fluid. It was like a almost a 3D glyph of an eye just sort of floating in the water.
I saw it as oh god, the eyeball that's in the triangle from Gravity Falls. You know what I'm talking about?
Bill
Kinda,
Cipher.
yeah.
Bill Cipher.
Bill Cipher.
Sort of.
I see that as
That
his
rat
eyeball, just
bastard.
kind of like this flat yet like multi-dimensional eyeball that was just kind of like blink
Yeah.
and then vanished.
Now I'm gonna shuffle all your orifices. eyes become ears.
All right, so
Oh, that was Nathan
Gross.
Fillion too. Poor guy.
so dealing with a cult now.
Well,
Let's
yes.
All right.
Continuously.
How do we want to deal with the cult? Do we want to go in Gamma's blazing, or do we want to infiltrate?
We want to infiltrate, but should
Gum-
we set?
Gamma's like, I have this incredibly deadly ball I could spit at them now. Apparently, it controls great power.
Oh, Gamma. Why
What?
did you eat the ball?
Igor told me to. It seemed like a good idea.
Ophelia, what were you saying? You had a plan?
Yeah, should we starve them out first?
I mean, if
You want to pay a
the
visit to Spears and
indication-
stuff?
Well, I mean, if the indication is that they're looking for food on outside sources, I mean, they're growing rapidly, right? They have to feed all of their subjects, right? So I mean, it is viable. Or if there's a possibility, you could cut off a water source, or
Or we cut off the Hydra's head, so to speak.
You know,
The
like
cult
what
leaders
goes back? That's like the whole thing about Hydras. Is that
But
when you
if you
cut
use
one of them
fire,
off, 2 to
it
3
doesn't.
grow back?
Yeah, you
And
gotta
I'm
cauterize it.
fire. I'm fire. Well, okay, so
Fire.
let's
More of
let's
his
let's
juice.
take it. Let's take a look at this as if we are engaging in a paramilitary operation against a
Yeah.
great national threat. They would have to have a chain
Uh.
of command and a hierarchy of authority that has to be and can be easily stabilized by an interjection of an outside third-party source. The people within the operation are clearly just operatives and agents with their own agendas, hoping for a greater good. They have no real contingency or no real love for the organization other than what it provides for them at a surface level, which is love, acceptance, and community. If we can rip that from them by some sort of small strategic campaign of propaganda, we'll destroy them from the inside out, leaving only the hierarchy to be forced to reappropriate more resources and people, which will put them in a position of tactical boss, and then we can...
Benji.
So Benji has been getting
Benji.
Benji has been getting the Bright Lions newsletter.
Benji.
Look, I'm sorry. I got over
My man
5,000
didn't
good
even
boy coins by the
stutter.
CIA. I have destabilized
the
the nation.
collective.
Honestly,
I am not happy
every-
about this.
One
Benji
of
has been
our
invited to
faces.
visit the Hugh or the Hague.
Every single one of our characters slow
here's
turned
what you said.
and stared
Benji.
at Benji.
Here's what I heard, which is it's a popularity contest and we're gonna win it.
A battle of the
Yeah.
bands.
Destabilize interior power structures. Popularity contest.
Yeah, it's a battle.
I think this needs to be a 2-pronged attack.
Oh.
And by attack,
And she looks at Igra.
Right in the
I
eyes.
don't mean with violence. I mean with love and food. And I think if we can undo their deal with the beef place and simultaneously set up something with the Magambia so that the Magambia can be doing that community outreach and humanitarian relief efforts instead, that would take power away from the Illuminated Tree, at least in non-Tombu.
Endures in Darkness says, "Oh, beat them at their own game."
Yes.
Yeah.
But only their game of feeding people and not their game of spreading potentially dangerous rhetoric.
Yeah, and look, so long as their needs are met, they are absolutely capable of rehabilitation. The real problem is the hierarchy infrastructure of the cult leaders. But that's different. That's a very different thing.
Murder
Oh,
solves
those
that
are the people we
problem.
kill.
Those are the people that we explode.
As you guys are kind of standing around, I imagine you're walking sort of maybe back in the direction of the Magambia while you're having this discussion, not shouting about murder in the streets, but talking.
I
about
would
it.
probably have this discussion at the Black Hat and then make sure that all
Yeah.
of our I's, R, and T's are dotted. Fuck, no, because we still have things that I needed to get done at the Black Hat. God damn it.
You guys do notice standing around in the Black Hat, there seem to be a number of people walking through the street, looking up into the sky, mildly perplexed.
Looks
And
up in the
walking-
sky.
Look up.
Are you guys gonna pop outside the shop and look up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys see a number of bubbles. like
No.
little water bubbles sort of floating through the air with a smiling face.
Oh, hey, this is going to be the objectively evil thing they do that makes it okay for us to murder them. This is good.
No, the bubbles all seem to be like floating in a certain direction, and you see a beautiful woman in the bubble. She's got a big, wide-brimmed hat. It's very much a witchy kind of looking hat, but it is like white, but the underside is blue. She has kind of pale blue hair, long hair that just kind of flows in lovely waves down her shoulders. And she's wearing, for the shoulders, you can only like see a bust, like shoulders and up in the bubble. But she seems to be wearing normal kind of illuminated tree robes, but with kind of a blue sash over her shoulders. And all the bubbles are flowing in a certain direction, which you instantly realize is in the direction of the illuminated tree compound.
You got a chain lightning in you, Avi?
No.
Happy.
Hold on. A
Sarah?
chain lightning, you say?
Or
I
a
mean-
fireball?
This could be that goddess lady that they were telling the story about, the Sage of Water,
Her hair's blue.
and she's riding on a bubble.
Well, let's kill her.
She came
To be fair, guys, there are multiple bubbles. There are
Is she
multiple
in?
bubbles.
Is she on or in a bubble? And is she like?
It's like a little bubble television floating through the sky
Oh.
with just
And
her
she's-
smiling face. This is
Okay.
like a flyer in the air essentially. It's not even like an animated picture. It's just sort of like an image frozen in a bubble of
Oh,
water.
it's one of those awful
How-
Disney skywriters.
How many of these are there?
A handful you can sort of see, but it's unusual enough. Like a smiling face in a bubble, floating in a very specific direction, potentially against the wind.
How high up in the air are these?
But they're above like the rooftops for most houses, so everyone can see them.
They just look like regular bubbles.
Yeah, they're just
Probably.
they're like
far up are they?
overly large soap bubbles.
Yeah,
sort
like
of.
how
Except-
if give us like a feet, like a range of distance that they are
Like
in.
30
Let's see how
feet.
They're
how
about
close he can
60
shoot
feet.
them.
They're about 60 feet off the ground,
Oh, sweet. Okay.
20 feet off a rooftop probably.
Please hold.
Please
Yeah.
hold.
I would love to prepare electric arc, but unfortunately that doesn't
Would
go
like
60
to
feet.
attack them, but want to make sure that people don't see us attacking them.
I'm curious what you hope to achieve by attacking them.
Popping the
they
bubbles.
seem like-
Popping them.
These
I mean, I
seem
know
like-
bubble wrap is very
Pop
fun.
the bubbles so they can't spread the message.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
So you said about 60 feet off the ground and kind of sparsed around, yeah?
No,
My
they're rapidly getting away from you guys. There doesn't seem to be a continuous flow of them.
can I use Mage Hand, which can carry a bulk of 2? I would imagine that's enough to either grab and or pop one of these bubbles with Mage Hand up to 60 feet. Can I do that?
You could
Okay.
gently kind of like just push the bubble down to like a height. You could do all sorts of things.
If I can get 2, I want to pop one and I want to grab the other and pull it in so we can kind of actually get a vibe of what's going on here besides just, floating head in a bubble.
You pop the one very easily. It just turns into like water. It's not like a globe of water, like heavy water in the sky. It appears to literally be a bubble. It's mostly air, but the image seems like the water bubble is so that light is refracted in a way that it creates this image. You can gently kind of usher it down to the ground with one of them, and yeah, it's just sort of like a static image of this beautiful lady in a different version of the illuminated tree robes with a very stylish hat.
Can I send a message to the bubble?
To the bubble?
Yeah.
I think
don't know
messages
what's
have to
going-
go to people.
I don't know. Maybe there's a person. Maybe there's a
You-
person connected to it. I don't
You
know.
Oh,
immediately
okay.
reach out with your magical sense and realize this is just water.
The premise of TV.
This is just water.
There aren't little people in this box.
I get the collective feeling that we just saw essentially the poster child of the illuminated tree.
All right, I'll add them to the hit list.
And I get the feeling that we may have our collective work cut out for us. But... And Charlotte just, like, angles her head towards Ophelia. We have a bard on our side.
Avi Avi,
Yes.
a voice enters your mind.
Uh-oh.
A familiar voice. It's Mariama.
Oh. Oh.
She just wants to let you know that apparently there is some sort of announcement occurring outside the illuminated tree compound.
We should probably go listen to whatever they're saying.
Yep, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Do you guys make your way through the city to the compound?
I mean,
yeah,
we
walk
can
up the Black Hat first, but yeah.
we can get there pretty quickly.
Oh
Flying.
yeah, Charlotte found the keys. Shows Charlotte essentially
There is a
has the
huge
keys.
key ring you found.
Yeah.
Shink, shink.
All right.
Give me a second, and you see like three sets of hands like flip through
One of the
keys. And go,
keys-
ah!
One of the keys just seems to be the skeleton of a small fish, like a fish bone.
All right, everyone,
Delightful.
get on Gamo's back. Everyone, come on.
Including Benji.
Be invisible
Yep.
or
It should be noted, you guys. You do remember this will just be in the middle of the street.
Yeah, that's why I'm going. We're just going
Like
to get
this
there.
isn't an
Yeah.
isolated compound.
I know
They are,
we're just going to get there quickly. I'm just going to
Yeah.
evolution surge to give Gamma a flight speed. A little like
Ah.
nimbus cloud will appear underneath Gamma and we'll start floating up.
I don't
You
know
do-
if we need to be invisible. I think this is they're just announcing to the world of what their intentions are. So I'm eager to see this, and I'm also eager for them to see us for some reason. So that we're not afraid of them.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the way you think, Charlotte.
Gombus, go.
I don't know if I share
You
that
guys-
sentiment. I'm kind of scared of them.
They bleed, they can die.
I'll tell you a secret, Ophelia. I am too.
social link up.
Oh, I know.
Secrets have been shared. Feelings have been confided. Minor.
I thought we weren't doing secrets anymore.
Well,
We always do secrets. That's our new thing. We tell each other everything now.
Benji, tell a
will-
secret.
Pass.
That defeats the point of it. But you guys make your way to the street outside the illuminated tree compound. There's a large crowd that has gathered, all sorts of people, and you do see a few people. You know, because this is a fantasy world. There are people who have like just magic and using their everyday life. So there was a few people kind of in the air around with you guys observing this. Like it's almost become like a drive-in movie at this point. There's like one person on a flying carpet, one person on a family-sized broom.
Hey, they can show us the world.
Yeah. There's one guy who is put on apparently his very best robes and is just like standing on air. That's just the flight spell, man. You don't need to pretend you're standing on solid air. He's just
Well, it could be airwalk.
it's not.
Oh, those
You
are some
see
good
you see
shoes.
at one point his feet drop a little bit and he has to physically make them stand up more straight, like he's trying to imply that he's standing on air, but he's actually just sort of hanging in the air.
That's so funny.
He's put on his best robes and everything, and he's got like a gnarled staff and everything.
Damn.
But speaking,
Elminster, is that you?
Dang, I really want to prank him.
but
Scale would blow him away.
a large a large group of illuminated tree members kind of part, and out of the doorway of the main building of theirs, a woman, the same woman from the bubble, comes out. She is wearing the normal robes, but she's got kind of like, you guys ever see like the purple sash that like priests or like at priests at mass wear?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's silky, but it's blue.
Unfortunately.
And she has also a very impressive kind of staff, but at the very tip of it, there is a wonderful kind of glowing globe of water suspended at the very end that has particles, just glowing things around. It's a very kind of like water magic-y looking kind of staff. And she introduces herself as Vivian, the Sage of Water. she is one of the hierarchs of the Illuminated Tree, and she is here to help continue the good works of the Illuminated Tree and to make an announcement that for the betterment of all the people of the Moagi Expanse, the Illuminated Tree is to be sponsoring an expedition to the legendary Lost City.
Fuckers.
And in fact, they are very pleased to report their expedition left yesterday.
God damn
Son
it.
of a bitch!
Do we blow her up now or later?
Now.
Now we have to go to Osaibo now is what we have to do.
Gamma, about
Um,
face, please.
And as we end the session tonight, because I have to keep reminding myself this isn't the Wednesday game, we're not going to midnight. We are going to zoom far away into the Moagi Expanse, into a unknown part of the jungle. It's at nighttime. There is a large stepped ziggurat blocking out the moon. And outside the ziggurat, we kind of start at the top and kind of zoom down. There are some ruins around the ziggurat itself, and two figures are crouched in some of the ruins. And in hushed voices, they are exchanging information. And one of them mentions, "I may have to leave soon. Teacher Ott needs to know what's going on here." And as they kind of they embrace each other, they say, "Make sure you're not discovered. I am starting to feel like they are growing suspicious. I'm going to..." And then part of the ruined wall next to them shatters in an explosion of brickwork and vines, and a 6 foot tall armored figure lands on the ground. They are dressed head to toe in armor bound with spiked chains and glowing red runes on the armor. The figure snaps their head to look at the two crouched figures. Something is dripping from under their helmet, and with the flex of their hand, a huge spiked maul appears in the armored figure's hand, and it just whispers, "Intruders." And that's where we're going to end the session tonight.
Oh,
All right, my
God.
friend.
Ugh.
So join us next time if you want to see what
Oh my
happens
God.
next. Join us on Wednesday for Wild Ambition. Our party's headed into a swamp,
Metaphorically and
physically. It's going to be
Da-da-da.
a good time. One of the major plot points for the campaign is starting with this arc, so that'll be fun.
it's a race to the hidden city now.
It's a
Hey.
race. It's a race to El Dorado. Friday, Astral Calling. If you like shenanigans and chicanery, if you want to see me turning D&D 5e into a visual novel,
Sugoi.
Oh, Matthew.
oh Matthew, it's not that bad. If you want to see that, join us on Friday. Saturday, Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough starts.
Excited.
We're real excited. It's going to be fun. Otherwise, if you're at Winnipeg Comic Con, go buy stuff for my girlfriend. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.